Hello, everybody, and welcome to another discuss. And today we'll be discussing the Nintendo Direct. I'm going to be here to you, and he is,
TheJamesRolls.
and nobody else. Let's just move on.
Ah! I finally escaped the other dimension.
Pancake! You've returned!
You forgot the most important person of all. Green Cobra's Gaming has returned
Oh!
from the dead.
Oh, well, that took a turn really fast.
We killed him.
No!
So that's where he went.
I'm coming back to curse all of you guys, including the viewers.
Yay! Well, in all seriousness, we have a Nintendo Direct to discuss. And we brought back Green Cobras Gaming for this one, so let's just get this over with.
For another 5 hours.
Oh god.
Oh boy. It's E3 without it being E3. Alright, so the first question, what were you expecting going into this Nintendo Direct? Nobody has anything to say?
Well, wasn't the order...
Okay, the video's over.
Well, I mean, the order was supposed to be Brandon, Pancake, me, then you, right?
I
Oh,
thought
wow.
so.
Oh, wow.
We forgot.
Oh no, I thought you were just going last for the intro.
For everything. Just because I'm the guest.
Uh-oh. Okay. Yay, professionalism in the video! We should have worked this out very thoroughly before recording. Anyway, so Pancake, I guess you can start.
You can edit that out and we can ask the question again.
Well, why would I do that? See, you asked me to edit stupid things in the Versus videos, but I will gladly keep all the stuff in on these discussions.
Okay.
Not 5 hours, that's all.
Yeah, no, it really will be 5 hours.
Well, what I was expecting going into the Direct was them to talk about Detective Pikachu and the Mario sports game, and probably show some ports and new games. I wasn't really expecting what they actually showed off. I was just expecting them to have a short Direct, only showing off a few things. I was expecting it to be lackluster, basically. That's really all I was expecting.
So you were expecting a Wii U era Direct?
Yeah, basically.
Alright.
I forgot this isn't the Stone Age. It's the Wood Age.
But yeah, going into the Direct, they obviously touted it was going to be Switch games, 3DS games, and Mario Aces. So I expected a good chunk of Mario Aces content, which they pretty much did. I think it was the biggest thing they covered other than the other thing we'll talk about later. But yeah, I was just expecting, kind of like Pancake said, just Mario Aces, Detective Pikachu. What they pulled out, man, I don't think anybody could have expected what they pulled out. And there's going to be a lot of discussion about what other stuff was announced that is super, super exciting. But yeah, going into the Direct, I wasn't really looking for anything. Usually with Directs, at least nowadays, I just go in with low expectations, and then usually I just come out of them hyped as can be. So yeah, going in, I wasn't really expecting all too much, but I'm very glad it thoroughly delivered.
Alright, Brendan, you go ahead.
Go ahead. Okay. I was what my expectations for the Direct was. Well, like I knew they're gonna announce, I knew they're gonna announce probably some new games, but like just all the stuff they announced was just, and quite a bit of they announced that was so excited. Like I thought they would at least announce maybe they just announced maybe like the name or something. Pokemon Switch, but because all the Pokemon, because the past main Pokemon games pretty much been announced before before E3 and all that. I mean, it's only March. Like there has been games that's been announced for I think OS was announced in May when it came out, like in like late in the fall. So like that happened. I was expecting that to at least, even if it's not a full like trailer, at least maybe announce like name or names
Yeah.
or whatever, and what it is too. But I was expecting at least that and all that, and also like just a bunch of games that we kind of already, just information about stuff that we kind of already know about it, along with some new, like not as I guess not as it was as big as I thought it was. New announcements, new games.
I wasn't expecting much from this direct because I was seriously just thinking this was just going to be going over more details about ports I already knew about, and maybe we'd get 1 or 2 new games or something. I was wrong. We'll go over that a little bit more later. And now the next question. What are your thoughts on the 3DS games that were announced, such as Luigi's Mansion and Bowser's Inside Story remakes?
Well, for the 3DS games, they did show off Detective Pikachu like I was thinking they would, and I was very happy about that. Like, Detective Pikachu is a game I've been wanting to play ever since it originally came out in Japan and all that. Like I said before, I was only thinking that they would show that off. The other 3DS game they showed off about that armadillo-like character didn't really look interesting to me at all. Then we got to, I can't remember what was first, Bowser's Inside Story, Luigi's Mansion. I'll just go over Bowser's Inside Story. We got the Bowser's Inside Story, which my question was why it wasn't Partners in Time. And I pondered a long time on why it wasn't Partners in Time. I asked on Twitter and all that, and I came to the conclusion that it's probably not Partners in Time because Bowser's Inside Story is more critically acclaimed than Partners in Time was. And I'm okay with them skipping Partners in Time as long as they remake it someday. Bowser's Inside Story I never played. I've only played Superstar Saga, a demo of Dream Team Paper Jam. And the fact that it's coming out on 3DS, since it's such a rare game to get on DS, really excites me. Now, for Luigi's Mansion, that was the game that just literally... I was in school the day of the direct, so I couldn't watch it live, right? And our teacher ended the class early. It's like 2:21. So I open up my phone, I think the direct's over, I refresh the page, and the thing I see is Luigi's Mansion 3DS reveal trailer on top of my set box. I'm thinking that no way, this has to be fake, and I click on it, and I really wanted to scream in excitement and joy. Like, you know when Chuck Conroy caught the Groundon in the nest ball?
Oh, yeah.
That kind of scream, that's the kind of scream I wanted to make.
Understandable, relatable.
Yeah,
Look,
it's just...
Heavy Ball is full through, so that was awesome. That was my first playthrough of the game. So.
Yeah, and it's like, just the fact that Luigi's Mansion's on the 3DS, it may not be on the Switch, which might make some people unhappy, but it's Luigi's Mansion on the go. Something that a lot of people really wanted, and I can't argue with it. The game looks amazing, what I've seen, and I'm just overall happy with the 3DS games they showed off.
Yeah, the 3DS game selection blew my mind. The Dylan game, it does well enough that they can keep making it, unlike apparently Chibi Robo. Yeah, the Dylan games do good, so that's good. A new game coming out for that. Detective Pikachu, it's coming out in like a week now, at the time of this recording, pretty much, so that's to be expected. But yeah, Bowser's Inside Story, Pancake talked about on Twitter about it. I think they did Inside Story instead of Partners in Time because they would have to rework that engine in order to have the gameplay mechanics with the baby Mario and Luigi added and like remap all the buttons. I think that's the reason they skipped it. And like Pancake said, Bowser's Inside Story is like one of the most critically acclaimed Mario and Luigi games. So it just makes sense that if they're going to skip Partners in Time, they might as well just remake Inside Story now and maybe do Partners in Time at a later time, no pun intended. But yeah, Bowser's Inside Story looks good. They really didn't have to change all too much, considering it's the same engine. But looks good. I like it. I'm very surprised, though, that the 3DS is at least going to be alive to see 2019. So that was a little surprising. I thought this would be the last year of the 3DS. But apparently not. 2019 should be, hopefully, maybe. Nintendo, please. Focus on the Switch. And then, yeah, Luigi's Mansion 3DS remake. Again, like Pancake said, kind of sucks that it's not on the Switch, but I mean, it was either do Luigi's Mansion 3DS with the engine they had from Dark Moon and do the assets for the bosses and some of the different ghosts, and, you know, the UI and everything, the HUD displays. It was either do that or upscale both games to an HD for the Switch. And they probably figured, you know what, let's just do the 3DS one since we already have Dark Moon. Who knows, in the future we could see a Luigi's Mansion collection on the Switch. I wouldn't doubt it, personally. But yeah, I was very shocked when Luigi's Mansion 3DS was revealed, and now I can finally play Luigi's Mansion since it's going to be on the go, and I can't wait until it comes out.
James, quick question.
Yes?
Are you gonna Let's Play it again?
Now, listen.
Versus when?
Oh god.
Yeah.
Wait, versus, you know, I haven't played the original Luigi's Mansion.
Well, it would have to be the 3DS version because I don't own a GameCube, so.
No. Luigi's Mansion version.
I like, for me, it could be either or. For me. You know, even though I've never played the original Luigi's Mansion, you know, I do have a GameCube.
Half of us play GameCube, the other half plays 3DS.
Yes!
Also, the Wii as well, so I can still also play it on my Wii as well, so.
Yeah.
Because Wii is back with that with GameCube, so.
Okay, I seriously want to do this. This sounds awesome.
Play the game?
Oh, good lord. Alright, let me add it to the list of 5 million versus projects. Here we go.
And while he does...
I'm waiting for the next King versus. Me and Lega to use Pepsi Man versus.
Oh,
sometime
boy.
After,
well, what?
Sometime after, you know, me and Pancake Armand's Red and Blue versus whenever that's going to be on the game. Like 5 years from now, something like that.
Oh, boy. Well, what are your thoughts, Brandon? What do you think of the 3DS games that were announced?
It was pretty good. Like, I mean, I prefer, like, I like the Switch games that were announced better. But there are two remakes of Luigi's Mansion and Bowser's Inside Story. Well, the thing with Luigi, first I'm going to do Luigi's Mansion because I'm talking about Luigi's Mansion. Luigi's Mansion on 3DS is nice because you know they will have Dark Moon on the 3DS. It'd be nice for players who have not played the original but have played Dark Moon played on the 3DS. And also it helps them while it'd be nice to have it on the Switch as well. It was only on the Switch but not the 3DS. Players who have a 3DS who played New Moon won't be able to play it because it would be only on the Switch, which also it's nice to have, you know, a game that you're familiar with that played on the system. So you could port both of them later on into like some collection thing on the Switch. But you don't know if that could happen, well, you never know. But with Bowser's Inside Story remake, story is nice to have because they did Superstar Saga on the 3DS, which I have not played before. I haven't played even the original version. Actually, the only Mario and Luigi game I've played was Paper Jam on the 3DS. The Jam, which is a pretty fun game. I just need to get more into the Mario Luigi games, and I know that Bowser's Inside Stories is a pretty good one. And I mean, but yeah, like I might try to play either or of them or also the remake because like I'd rather play the remake that they were made and just for the play 3DS. We know it'd probably be easier to like if I want to so something if I really enjoyed Bowser's Inside Story. Game I could play on the ADS emulator, but I would it would happen because I've never played the game before. So as a Let's Play, I mean, or even a versus. Then in that, especially if I get a 3DS capture card or something like that. But yeah, I'm still excited though for the remaster coming to the DS though.
Yeah. I am so excited that Bowser's Inside Story because that is my favorite Mario RPG of all time. And I know it kind of sucks for some people that they skipped Partners in Time. And I can't really think of a good reason why, because if I remember correctly, Bowser's Inside Story was made on a modified Partners in Time engine. And I don't know what James was saying about button mapping being a problem because the DS and 3DS have pretty much the same button now. But yeah, I'm really excited for Bowser's Inside Story. I don't really particularly care that much for the new side mode that they're going to introduce because I wasn't that big of a fan of the Bowser's and Minions mode in Superstar Saga. But I will say this. Please give us the option to reset the boss without having to go through those so super long cutscenes like you could in Dream Team. That was the one thing I liked in Dream Team more than in Bowser's Inside Story. And Bowser's Inside Story would be perfect if we could just reset the battle if we died without having to watch the same cutscenes over and over and over again. But yeah, I'm excited about that. But I'm really surprised that's coming out in 2019 because that means that the 3DS would have been around for when did that come out? I don't know.
2011?
Yep,
Something like
2011.
Or 2012, one of those.
No, it was 2011, I think. Anyway, yeah. As for Luigi's Mansion, I've seen a lot of people who get upset that this isn't on Switch, and I don't understand why they're so upset, because I think it makes perfect sense for the remake to be on 3DS, because the whole reason why Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon even exists was because they tested the original GameCube game on the 3DS, and then Shigeru Miyamoto really liked that and decided to make a whole new game around that idea. And so I think it makes a whole lot of sense for them to make the 3DS remake. I'm a little surprised it took this long for that to actually happen, but I'm really excited for it. Luigi's Mansion on the GameCube has a lot of replayability, and being able to play with that on the go is going to be a dream come true. And I have the next question. How much longer do you think Nintendo will support the 3DS?
3DS games still sell. Like, I know the Switch is the big seller for Nintendo right now, but 3DSs and 3DS games still sell, I mean, in my state, at least, because during the holiday seasons, it's really hard to get a 3DS or even a 2DS for that matter. It's hard to get your hands on those during the holiday seasons, along with other consoles and handhelds, proving that they still sell a lot. But I think they'll be supporting the 3DS all the way up until 2020. If not, they'll probably end it in 2019, but if they keep on selling really good near the holidays, at least, they'll probably keep it going up until 2020. You know, that's just a theory. But
A game theory, because our channel's called A Game.
Thanks for watching.
yeah, they could just keep the production going up until the next election, probably. Or the next inauguration. That's my prediction.
Yeah, I think the 3DS is probably going to be supported for at least another year with 2019. Probably the whole year. They'll probably stop production in early 2020. At least I would hope so. I mean, dear God, if they really want the Switch to sell even more than it already has, they should focus more on manufacturing those, since it is still a little bit in demand, even though they have done a good job keeping up with the demand, which is good. But yeah, I think the 3DS is on its way out starting next year. And it'll be sad because it's the end of an era. It'll be Nintendo's actually, would it be the longest handheld console?
No, I think that goes to the original Game Boy or something.
Okay, well, it'd be either number 1 or number 2. So I mean, kudos to the 3DS. You've had a very good life, but I think it's almost time for the 3DS to see its way out. Time to bow out and let the Switch dominate the hybrid market.
Yeah, I kind of agree that the 3DS kind of needs to slow down with like the games that's coming out. The thing is, like, the Switch is out and been out. The Switch been out for like a year already and all that. Which, I mean, I guess the other systems, like kind of systems, like the Game Boy Advance, were still around. I guess partly into the DS cycle, and I guess and all that, but always been like that with Nintendo, where like they still have a previous system for a year or so. Like for example, when the 3DS came out, like making games for the DS, like up till Black to White 2, I think, because I think Black to White 2, I don't know if it's actually one of the last DS games. I know it's like one of the last for Black to White 2. Because that was over a year after the DS came out in America too. So, which I think, in my opinion, that should stop. Like at least with games, maybe 2018. Like with games, like after this year, maybe stop with games, or maybe stop at second year anniversary. Maybe they can stop releasing games at the second anniversary of the Switch, so in like March 3rd of 2019, maybe stop. I think just releasing games for the system, like, and maybe actually stop for the actual handheld device. Like it. That's the only reason I'm kind of saying that is because slow down and maybe stop pretty soon with the release of new games, but keep on the production for a little while, because there's people that, I mean, there's plenty of games on 3DS. Like 3DS is like what I think, in my opinion, like the best handheld for Switch game. But Switch is a console and a handheld, so that's what it's count. Like it's just a handheld. In my opinion, 3DS is the best system. Like better than the Game Boy Advance, better than the DS even. The DS was also good, but I think 3DS is better in my opinion. Just because there's so many games and so many great games that come out for it and all that. And stuff like that. I think a lot of games I bought for it. 3DS not as much because of the Switch, but yeah, I think they should just keep production until 2020.
Yeah, I think 2019 will probably be the last either 3DS is a thing. But I don't think they're going to have as much trouble making games for both the Switch and the 3DS as they did when the Wii U was still a thing. Because the reason why they kind of seemed like they could only focus on one or the other during the Wii U era was because they underestimated the price of making HD games, which caused all those delays for the Wii U games and stuff like that. But now that they have more experience with making games in HD for the Switch, I don't think they're going to have that much trouble again. Although it would be nice if they could focus only on the Switch right now, because as much as I love the 3DS, it's also been around for a really long time.
I got one more thing to say about the 3DS.
Go for it.
When the 3DS finally starts production, we all need to sing a song for it, and this is the song we'll sing. Farewell and adieu to you Spanish ladies, farewell and adieu to you ladies of Spain, for we have received orders for sail to old England, but we hope in a short time to see you again.
Vader Gator to you, why can't you sing beautifully like that every time you do that gag in Splatoon 2 verses?
Well, I'm sorry.
I think we all know that Lady AT is going to win a singing contest. All four of us.
Well, moving on. Next question. What are your thoughts on Okami and Undertale coming to Nintendo Switch?
For Okami, when Okami HD was like released on the PlayStation 4, I think it was, I really wanted it to come out for the Switch because the original Okami game had come out for the PlayStation 2 and Wii originally. And I was really hoping that it would be like that, it would come out for the Switch, and it seemed like it never would, but now that it is, I am really excited. I really want to play Okami, because I like, mythology and all that. And Okami looks like a really fun game. It's based off mythology, and it just looks really fun. I've always wanted to play it. For Undertale, I am not the biggest fan of the Undertale fan base. The Undertale fan base is just the only reason why I never really tried out Undertale in the first place. But now that it's coming to the Switch, I kind of want to play it a little bit, just to see what it's like, because I heard over and over again that it's like Earthbound, and I know Toby Fox, the creator of the game, based it off of Earthbound, and I kind of want to try it out now that it's on the Switch. If I like it or not, that's debatable, but who knows, maybe I'll like it.
Yeah, all I can say is ignore the fan base and you'll love the game.
I'm gonna actually combine like the next 3 because I have only quick thoughts about like the 4 games that we're gonna be talking about next. So quick thoughts on Okami HD. Thank you. I will finally be able to play it. I hope Okamiden eventually comes as well, since they are doing the port of World Ends With You. Clearly they can do DS ports, so hopefully they do Okamiden in the future as well, because I would love to play that also. Undertale, kind of have the same thoughts as Pancake. The fanbase pretty much overrates it, which is why, well, I mean, it probably does deserve the overrating praise, but I'll probably try it. I mean, I own it on Steam, but I haven't touched it since I bought it during one of the many sales that Steam has. South Park Fractured Butthole, which, I mean, I wonder how many takes it took that announcer not to laugh doing the voiceover. That just had to be so funny in the studio with them trying to do the voiceover without the announcer laughing. That was so funny. But I hope they also bring the first game, Stick of Truth, I think it was called. Hopefully they bring that to the Switch as well. I wouldn't be surprised if they did a surprise Stick of Truth is coming too, release before Fractured Butthole comes out. And Octopath Traveler, it looks amazing. I'm so glad they just dropped Project from the name, from the demo and the inner workings, and they kept Octopath Traveler for the name. Yeah, it looks really, really good. I haven't actually played the demo. I think I still have it on my Switch, but haven't had time to try the demo yet. I probably should do that before the game officially comes out. And if I like it, the demo, which I assume I would, because I do like RPGs, JRPGs, rather, I think I would like it, and I probably would buy it. So those are my thoughts on Okami HD, Undertale, South Park Fractured Butthole, and Octopath Traveler.
Hey, I'm gonna do the same thing, but to answer the next 3 questions. Only questions I want the game, so start with the first one with Okami and Intel one. Start with Okami. It's a game I heard that's really good. It's just actually never played, which I do have plenty of systems to play on, because the Wii. And now the Switch, which, I mean, I don't get those versions, so, I mean, if I do get a copy, it would be the Switch version. Because, you know, play it on the go, and then, like, I mean, I can do it with my laptop, too, but I can play on the Switch in different ways to play. Joy-Con, normal controller, thing that just is for the handheld portion of it. I never played the game. I was Undertale. I owned Undertale, which I also got like James. I got it on sale on Steam. Getting the Switch version, just I own it, and not I already own that game and all that. Which, I mean, there are games that I have bought that are that have on multiple consoles, but Undertale is not one of. Which I have only played the tutorial portion or whatever, so it's not much I play. Which you probably need to play some more. Yes, and I heard this is not the best at it, but despite that, I heard it's still a great game. Like, you know, now with South Park is it's like one of those, you know, best games. It's a game, I guess. Just because, you know, South Park. And how it's coming for the, like, that's pretty cool and all that. Which I mean, I would love to have the Stick of Truth come out for the, with as well, the prequel. But cool. The name of that is just kind of beautiful. The South Park. What do you expect? Traveler? Yeah, I don't really know anything about it. Like, I guess that's like I think that's the Square Enix game that I showed, or by it, which I don't. Okay, just not really. Yeah, not really interesting, and just plus I don't know really anything about it or anything, and just not really interested in me. So that's why just like the question I just don't know, because, you know, the game that I don't know anything about, besides I guess it's made by Square Enix, which creates Kingdom Hearts and Final Fantasy game. I don't know when Kingdom Hearts 3 comes out, but version please Kingdom Hearts 3 get a Switch. But that's pretty much all my opinions about these sportsman games. So your turn, Lee.
Well, I think Pancakes should go first, considering you guys just went ahead and talked about South Park and Octopath Traveler. So, Pancake, you should probably give your thoughts before I say anything.
Yeah.
Time's up!
Park,
Okay, go ahead.
I'm sorry. I actually fucking meant it for a second.
I'm sorry, I'm mean.
South Park: The Fractured Butthole. I have been literally praying for a Switch release for that game. As a South Park fan, in general, when South Park games get released, I really want to play them. I've wanted to play the Stick of Truth, but I never got around to getting it. Even when I found it in a bargain bin one time, I did not get it. Fractured Butthole, since it's coming out next month, I'm probably gonna get it a couple months after it comes out, especially since it's gonna be like cheap or something. When I looked on Amazon, it was like $40, so it's not like $60 like other Switch games. I'm a big fan of South Park. I really want to play the Fractured Butthole, and since it's based off of, since it continues the story of my favorite episode from season 21, the god awful, not as bad as season 20, but still awful season 21, of South Park, and I hope Stick of Truth also comes out, because when Fractured Butthole came out, it came with a bundle for the Xbox One and PS4 versions that got a free download code for Stick of Truth. So I hope Stick of Truth also comes out. That would make me really happy. For Octopath Traveler, I really don't know a whole lot about that game. And it's hard for me to get excited about that game just because I don't know a whole lot about it. That's really all I have to say about Octopath Traveler.
All right, I'll talk about South Park first because I don't have much to say about that one. I'm sorry, I'm not a South Park fan at all, but it's good for the fans that this game is coming to the Switch so that they can play it on a system anywhere they want. So I'm happy for the South Park fans. Okami, Undertale, Octopath Traveler. Oh my god, I'm so excited for these games! Okami was something that I really wanted on Wii U, because it would have been amazing if they had the touchscreen controls from Okami Den on the gamepad. That never happened, but it's happening for the Switch. I am so happy about that. And one thing I'm really curious about is, I know the PlayStation 3 and PlayStation 4 versions, if I remember correctly, they are programmed to run in either 1K or 4K, and they downscale into 1080p. So I'm wondering if that's the same with the Switch version. So I think that'd be pretty interesting if that actually is the case. I noticed that they said that Okami HD is going to be an eShop game, so I hope they make a physical version. But if not, then whatever, I could just get the digital version and be happy because Okami is one of the best games ever. For Undertale, this is something that a friend gave me on Steam, and I played pretty far into it, but I never beat it. And it is fun. I enjoy it. And I'm happy that I'll be able to play on the Switch now. And I absolutely loved the video that they had for that one, where they were all like, turn on the Switch. Where is it? We're on the Switch. That was beautiful writing right there.
But tis.
That's for Octopath Traveler. The demo was really fun, and I really enjoyed it. And I think of all the games that we know about for the Switch, I think this may be one of my favorite visual-wise, because I love the graphics and the combat for that one. It looks like it's all sprites, but the lighting effects in that game are just really beautiful, and it looks really cool. And now moving on. What are your thoughts on Crash Bandicoot coming to Nintendo Switch? And do you think this means the Spyro trilogy rumors are true?
Crash Bandicoot on the Switch, thank the Lord. It is so amazing. The Crash Bandicoot trilogy is finally coming to the Switch. The first Crash game in many years to come to a Nintendo console. And I can't be happier, because the only reason that I never got Crash Bandicoot trilogy when it came out was because I do not want to get a PlayStation 4. I do not want to have to get a PlayStation 4 to play Crash Bandicoot. For a long time, I was contemplating if I should just buy a regular PlayStation or a PlayStation 2 just to play those games. But now I don't have to, because now they're coming to the Switch. And that's just amazing. As for the Spyro trilogies, I think this is 100% proof that those rumors of the Spyro trilogy being released for PlayStation 4 in 2018 and then coming out for Switch in 2019 are true. No doubt in my mind now that the Crash trilogy rumor is true, that the Spyro trilogy rumor is 100% true now, and I love Spyro and Crash very much. They're good games, and I'm just happy that Crash is finally coming to a Nintendo console.
Yeah, I'm so stoked that Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy is coming. It's surreal because I think all the other previous Crash games were like all the different spin-off games. They didn't have any of the mainline games on Nintendo systems, I believe. So, yeah, it's weird, but still pretty heartwarming that we're gonna get the original trilogy on the Switch. The remake of the trilogy on the Switch. Super, super exciting. And I do believe also that does confirm the rumor that the Spyro trilogy is coming to PS4 for 1-year exclusivity, and then it will be released in 2019, or maybe early 2020, depending on, time frames of when it's released, for for Switch, PC, and Xbox One, which, just think about that. Spyro and Crash both being back, and both being on Nintendo systems. Like, that blows one's mind. And, yeah, I really hope that the Spyro trilogy is announced at E3 by PlayStation. That would just be great. And then we would know for sure, exclusive for a year, coming to Switch the next. So, yeah, Crash trilogy, awesome. Spyro trilogy, hurry up and release, please.
Oh my god, I'm so excited to play Crash Bandicoot trilogy for Nintendo Switch. I'm so excited. Like, that got me excited. It's like watching TheJamesRolls react to Smash Brothers in his react. But for me, it would have been Crash. So excited that I've been wanting to play it. Flip, I don't own a PS4 and everything. Now I don't have to, and can play it on my Switch and everything. And I hope there's more PS4 games. Even though I doubt it. I mean, there's gonna be more PS4 games that's probably gonna be put this Switch, but like games like Activision games or like games that are third party anyway. So like, I doubt there'll be any actual companies that are exclusive that are going to come to the Switch. Obviously, like Naughty Dog, G.A.M.E, obviously amazing. But real excited for a Crash game. It's sort of like, oh my god! No, there are PS4 games I want to play besides Crash. That's on the PS4. But still, now I'm not going to get a PS4. Sweet. And my Xbox One. Apart from my Switch, a lot more. Which at college, and I don't have my Xbox One at home. Which actually, I'm at home right now, just visiting family over the weekend. But yeah, I'm so excited about this. Oh my gosh! Oh man. Our trilogy. I do hope there's a Spyro trilogy that comes for PS4 and then later Switch. It'd be even better if they came out at the same time. Like, I know there's rumors that says it will come out like a year after on PS4. Of course, the thing is, there's also rumors, and the rumors, like, could be true with the whole Spyro coming out, but being the whole year thing, maybe. Which, I mean, yeah, because Spyro's more of a PlayStation mascot, like Crash is. But then both been third-party games. Like years upon years, there hasn't been like years or Spyro games, I guess. Well, besides that doesn't count. That's not counting. That doesn't count. We pretend that doesn't exist at all. I hope that the Spyro trilogy comes and all that, like, to both. I'm so excited for Crash, like, oh my god.
I am very happy that the Crash Bandicoot rumors turned out to be true. This is a game that I've been thinking about getting on my PS1 for the longest time, but I've never been able to find a copy at a good price. And now it's coming to the Switch. Like, that blows my mind, because Crash Bandicoot is like the PlayStation Mario, and it's gonna be on the Switch. And I just can't wrap my mind around that. This is just awesome. And if those Spyro rumors are true, oh man, this makes me so happy. That's all I can really say about that. The Crash Bandicoot coming to Switch makes me so happy.
Are you so happy?
So happy.
Yeah.
Alright, so the next question is, what are your thoughts on Captain Toad Treasure Tracker coming to both the Switch and Nintendo 3DS?
Captain Toad Treasure Tracker coming to the Switch and 3DS was a big surprise for me, because I wasn't expecting it at all. I don't think anybody was expecting it. If anybody was expecting anything to come from Captain Toad in the Switch, was a sequel. People were expecting a sequel, not really a port. I am very much okay with a port of Captain Toad Treasure Tracker, especially since they're adding more stuff to it. But anyways, a port of Captain Toad Treasure Tracker on Switch, I can finally get the game now because when it came out on the Wii U, I was really debating if I should get it or not. And the main reason is because I did not think I would enjoy the game. But after watching some gameplay videos on it and all that, I still debating if I should get it. The minute it was announced for Switch, I was finally like, okay, that settles it, I'm getting it. For the 3DS version, I might get that, but the thing is that I don't think Captain Toad would run that good on a 3DS because it was made for the Wii U. So I imagine that there'd be lots of frame drops and it would play really slowly, unless you're playing on a new 3DS. But that's all I really have to say about the 3DS version. Really excited for the Switch version though. I hope they make a Captain Toad amiibo, like an amiibo for Captain Toad, not just the Toad amiibo. But you know, that's all I have to say.
Well, I'm just... go ahead.
I was going to say that I saw this one really cool custom amiibo where they put like a working headlamp on a Toad amiibo and it looks pretty cool.
Yes. Very, very cool. I'm just hoping for a Toadette amiibo. I mean, come on. We already have regular Toad. Where's Toadette? Where's the Bowser Jr. for the Mario series? They're going to have to make a Chain Chomp one because of Tennis Aces now. So many different amiibo that they can still do for the Mario series, technically. They can even make a cheap one. But yeah, I kind of expected just a straight-up port like Captain Toad Treasure Tracker Deluxe. I didn't expect the new Mario Odyssey content, but I do appreciate it. And of course I'm gonna get the game. I mean, come on, me and Later Gator, you have to continue our verses now. Yeah, definitely getting it on the Switch. The 3DS version actually looks okay. I don't know if they used a previous engine or not. It looks like maybe they kind of used the 3D Land engine. I don't know if they would have kept that around, but it kind of looks like the 3D Land engine to me. I'm sure they probably kept it around, because Nintendo probably keeps... They even keep papers of the original Mario Brothers, like the concepts of building that. They probably had the engine lying around. Anyway, yeah, super, super excited. I'm so stoked to play it on the Switch anywhere I go. And the 3DS one, it's good for people that can't buy a Switch yet. I assume the 3DS version's gonna be cheaper than the Switch version, at least I would hope so. And hopefully the game won't be more than $40 like it was on the Wii U, even with the new levels. So yeah, super excited for Treasure Tracker to be on the Switch. And yeah, I just can't wait to play it again.
Okay, so I don't know why it took me that long to, my there, but anyway, Captain Toad Treasure Tracker, doing both for the Switch and 3DS. That's pretty cool and all that. The thing is, I do have the Wii U version, so if I do get Captain Toad Treasure Tracker again, it would only be the Switch version. Like, I only have the Wii U version. I don't want to get two other versions. Switch because to go. But I mean, 3DS styles could do that, but I'd rather just it be the whether get the Switch version. But I'm excited that it's also being ported to both systems, not just the 3DS and not just the Switch, but both. Like that, like when they first, I just put a Captain Toad Treasure, and then they showed the 3DS, like, oh yeah, this is really cool, especially for people who don't have a Switch and also don't have a Wii U, but have a 3DS. So if you play on the 3DS, then try that game out. And we have not played the Captain Toad Treasure Tracker on the Wii U or at Switch. Speaking of Captain Toad Tracker, that's like one of those games that I know you both they give to you and JamesRolls, but like they both done a normal Let's Play of it, and they've done a versus against each other on games. But I know they're really excited for those. you guys both love so much.
Yeah, we can never escape that game.
Like, you might do Let's Play that on the Switch, or or do a versus of the Switch version. You never know.
No, just the extra levels, not the full game again. God, no.
Yes, I agree with Brandon. Rematch.
Yeah, do rematch, and then make the Mummy Mage a lot harder than that.
No, God, no. I'm gonna have nightmares again.
Oh, man.
They make a hard mode. They make a Captain Predator back a hard mode.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Better than it already is.
Oh, I should probably go before he starts getting more ideas.
But yeah, Captain Treasure Tracker, like, I played a little bit on the Wii U, which it's a decent game. I prefer the free world and, pretty much any main Mario game, and Mario Kart also, so I love Mario. Mario Kart, except for the original, which was on the Super Nintendo, so I played 7 of the 8 Mario Kart, and I own 6 of the 8. Technically 7 of the 9, if you count the Switch version. Still 6 of 8, because it's still Mario Kart, about 8. But still. So I'm sad about that. I mean, I might get the Switch version, even though I already on the Wii. Just, it's a lot easier to have that on the Switch, especially because I'll be able to, take it anywhere I go.
Yeah, I'm going to be completely honest. I'm probably going to get both versions because I'm just that much of a fanboy of Captain Toad Treasure Tracker. Yeah, I'd probably get the 3DS version so I could stream that game because I can't stream console games at the moment. And the Switch version, I'm really pleasantly surprised by what they're adding to that game. Like, they're adding a co-op mode. That's just really awesome. Because my sister wanted to play Captain Toad, but she never really had that much time with it because by the time she was getting into it, the Switch came out and we put that in the living room and the Wii U in my office area, so she didn't really get to play that much. So we'll be able to play that together, and they're adding Mario Odyssey levels. That New Donk City level looks so awesome. And I'm just so excited to see what else they could do with it. Oh, I'm just so happy. Alright, so Greek Compass Gaming suggested another question before we move on to what was supposed to be the next one. So we're going to talk about Dark Souls real quick. What are your... Take 2. What do you think of the Dark Souls Amiibo and the Dark Souls Remastered game for Switch? And he also just suggested to explain our experience with Dark Souls. So yay!
Well, the thing about Dark Souls is that you have to have a fairly high IQ to understand Dark Souls. The gameplay is very subtle, and I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna make that joke. That joke was stupid. Anyways,
There.
Dark Souls being on the Switch is really exciting, and it getting its own amiibo is very exciting, and I just hope that now it's coming out on the Switch, people will stop comparing every game that has a high difficulty to freaking Dark Souls. That is what annoys me when people do that, and I hope that it coming out on the Switch ends that, but I know it won't because people are just stupid.
Did you know Super Mario Odyssey is the Dark Souls of the Mario series?
Really?
I didn't know that. I thought it was Zelda.
Oh, man.
You're welcome.
Did you know Dark Souls is the Dark Souls series?
What?
Mind blown.
Dark Souls is definitely... I'm not Dark Souls. Super Mario Odyssey is definitely in the Dark Souls of all Mario games, especially with that assist mode.
My experience.
Assist mode is no joke. Stop laughing.
What did I do?
my
We might have to have James go real quick while Pancake stops laughing.
Medic! Get a medic for Pancake!
My experience with Dark Souls is that I've never played a Dark Souls
MRI?
ever. So, I'm gonna get it. This will be my first time ever playing a Dark Souls game. I'm done. I'm gonna mute my mic because I'm just gonna keep on laughing.
Dark Souls coming to the Switch. Very exciting. Opens the door for the other Dark Souls games. And I mean, come on. I think the fan demand was probably there. I didn't really pay attention to when it was first announced in the Direct Mini, if there was demand for any amiibo. But they did the Praise the Sun one. If they were gonna do one, it had to be Praise the Sun. Although, they never showed the actual imagery base for that, so maybe we could see him in Smash Bros. And that's actually a Smash amiibo all along. Ooh.
Now, we'll talk about that when we talk about Smash Brothers.
But yeah, Dark Souls coming to the Switch. Super exciting. I've never played Dark Souls, so I can't really share any experiences, but maybe I'll get to make some when it comes out on the Switch in 2 months.
Okay, my experience with Dark Souls. Well, I'm excited for how the Dark Souls remastered for the Switch. Like I said, I really don't have that much experience with Dark Souls either. Souls on the Xbox One. It's a 360. Well, it's technically Dark Souls 360, like 360. But you know how that Xbox One is compatible with a lot of Xbox 360 games. The original Dark Souls is. So, only played the beginning, the tutorial level or the beginning level, which is Dark Souls. Also, which I mean, also first time playing the game. It was alright. But like I said, I barely touched that game. Which I might get the Switch version if have it on to go. Just play it on the go. That'd be cool. Well, I mean, I'm not the biggest I know there are people that I know are big Dark Souls fans. There's someone who has played all the Dark Souls for the Switch. I have a different friend from the guy that plays all three. I have a different friend who doesn't own a Switch or whatever, but has played the original Dark Souls. He said that's one of the games that he would get the Switch for. It's interesting how the Dark Souls game would be a game that he would get Switch, which he says that for multiple games before, which he has, because he didn't even have a 3DS yet, and there's games he said multiple years ago that he would get the 3DS for that game, and now he doesn't have a 3DS. And she says that all the time to different games, and plus a lot of games he's been playing recently have been on Swing. Yeah, and also with the Dark Souls amiibo, and play do and all that, use that amiibo and all that, 360 version I can't. 360 version I just tried because I wanted to try out Dark Souls. Anything, because I played the tutorial, but I haven't really played much of it, which, plus, also remastered, on the Switch version, it's also remastered, so remastered for modern graphics, and original Dark Souls is, pretty graphics are kind of not best, but which also with the remastered it's going to improve a lot. They kind of take a little mad right here about comparing hard games. Cuphead is also a hard game. Quite a bit of that. It's a pretty hard game. I just want to mention that because Pancake is tired of comparing hard games and all that. Cuphead is a hard game though. You should play it though. It's fun. Even though it's a Microsoft exclusive, you still just play it. You can play it on Steam. So, I recommend Cuphead.
I can't really say much about the Dark Souls announcements because I'm not that familiar with the series. All I really know about it is it's apparently a really hard game. So who knows? I might want to try. Maybe I can certainly go for losing a couple brain cells. So yeah, I'm surprised they're making an amiibo for this game because there haven't really been a whole lot of third-party amiibo. There was Shovel Knight and I think a couple Monster Hunter ones as well. But Dark Souls was one that I was not expecting at all, so that was a pleasant surprise. And you know that all those Dark Souls fans are going to be eating up that amiibo. So if the game doesn't sell well on Switch, we at least know that the amiibo will. And the next question, I guess I can group these next two together. What are your thoughts on Mario Tennis Aces, and what other Mario sports games would you want to see on Switch?
Hey Gator, I hope you don't mind, but I'm just gonna answer the next 4 questions. So that we can get to the big question really fast. Is that okay?
Okay.
Alright, my thoughts on Mario Tennis Aces, I'm not really a big fan of Mario sports games, unless you count Mario Kart to be a sports game, which I don't think anybody really does. But Tennis Aces looks really good, for a Mario sports game, so I might pick it up, but there's also a chance that I won't, but there is a high chance that I will, because Chain Chomp is playable, and Chain Chomp just looks really cool, okay guys? Just looks really cool with that tennis racket.
He's a good boy trying his best.
Yeah, good boy. He's a fluffy bunny.
Say, good boy.
The bunny gets the pancake.
Oh.
As for other Mario sports games that I want to see on the Switch, if you count Mario Kart as a sports game, then I guess Mario Kart 9. But I don't think many people count Mario Kart as a sports game. I don't. I'd like to see like a Mario baseball game because I'm a big fan of baseball. But I don't think they'll ever make one. I think they're just gonna stick to tennis right now. Like I said, I'm gonna answer these next 4 questions, so it's gonna be a long time. Okay, so can you, Gator, can you ask the next 2 questions so I can answer them, please?
All right. I guess. What are your thoughts on the Octo Expansion DLC for Splatoon 2? And do you think there'll be more paid DLC beyond Octo Expansion?
Okay. Octo Expansion DLC for Splatoon 2, I just have one thing to say about that. Thank God playable Octolings. Something I've wanted since the beginning. Never was in Splatoon 1, but now it's in Splatoon 2. Thank you, Nintendo, for listening. And I'm also excited that it's like a new single-player story, I think, so that's pretty cool, too. As for the paid DLC one, I really hope there isn't any more paid DLC for this game, because this is like, what, $20 or so? Am I right?
Yeah, Octo Expansion is $20.
Yeah, that's really rich DLC right there. That's a little much for DLC, and I really hope there's no more paid DLC for Splatoon 2, because I think Octo Expansion being the only paid DLC will be really good for me, because there's only one thing I hate more than microtransactions, it's paid DLC, and I consider them to be both of the same thing. So I really hope that this is the only paid DLC for the game.
I guess I'll do the lumping of 4 again as well. So Mario Aces, Tennis Aces looks pretty good. I mean, it's a Mario Tennis game. There's nothing really that you can be expected, although thank God it's not as ridiculous as Power Tennis, I think was the title of the 3DS one, or Ultra Smash on the Wii U. Not too gimmicky, has a story mode, so that's great. Other Mario sports games, another Strikers, please, maybe? Or Pancake mentioned baseball, another Mario Sluggers, maybe? Who knows? We'll have to wait and see. But I was genuinely surprised that in the first place there was a new Mario Tennis so soon anyway. So who knows what Camelot, the studio behind those games, has cooking if Tennis came out so soon. But yeah, hopefully we get sluggers or strikers, or maybe even another Mario Hoops, who knows. As far as Splatoon 2 and the Octo Canyon expansions, I am so happy. I am so happy. Like Pancake said, like, a lot of people have been hoping for Octolings to be playable since the first game, and there was, like, even, I don't know if it's true or not, it's, I guess, whatever, about Octoling, like, player models being in the coding, and one of the early updates of Splatoon 2 also had, like, placeholder things for that, but it's just awesome. And plus, this Octo expansion is going to be double the size of the single-player campaign, which is awesome. Well, it's double plus 16 levels, because there's like 32 levels in... No spoilers other than how many levels there are. There's 32 levels in single-player for Splatoon 2, and there's 80 in Octo expansion, so that's 64. Hit it later, Gator, to you. Or not.
It's like, yeah, 64.
I was gonna say, there was a bit of a delay there. But 64 levels plus 16 to make 80. Like, it's very worthy of the $20 tag, since it's basically double the single player. And I do believe they did word it in the Direct that it's the first paid DLC. And you gotta remember, there were 2 DLC packs for Breath of the Wild, both $20. So it wouldn't shock me if they did, well, I don't know what else they could do for paid DLC to be like $20 in Splatoon 2, unless they do, like I thought was gonna happen when I was doing the reactions, where I was screaming, oh my god, are we going back to the original Linkopolis? Are we doing that? I could see them doing that for a second DLC pack, although it is pretty cool. Now we know of the thing in Inkopolis Square, the train station behind by the Deca Tower off to the right. Now that actually has a purpose thanks to the paid DLC, which is cool. Yeah, super excited for it. I cannot wait until it comes out. I don't think they gave a release date, but it wouldn't surprise me if it's July 13th, because that's when the Off the Hook amiibo come out, as well as Captain Toad, actually, so rip wallets everywhere. But yeah, hopefully it will deliver up to the hype that it certainly did get when it was revealed. Yeah, I cannot wait to play Octo Expansion, and hopefully if they do, as they worded it, do another DLC pack, since this is the first, hopefully it will be worth the price of $20 as well.
I did also going to do all those questions that you both all did. Those 4 questions. Start with the first one, Mario Tennis. Well, I'm not, like, I haven't really played really any really Mario Tennis games, really. Excuse me. Mario Tennis is that, and it does look pretty good and all that Mario Tennis Aces, but I mean, it's just another Mario Tennis game. Like, even though, it was pretty cool that it had the whole the different styles of like smashing, and like, you have like 3 hits until your tennis racket breaks from those big smash meets and all that, like whatever they were called. Look back at the Twitter. Yeah, it looks interesting. I mean, I probably won't get it. Like, I might try it out, or might like maybe try it out 10,000 if I do really like it. I might get it, but if I have a friend that gets it, all that, we'll see, I guess. But now my opinion about other sports games, Mario sports games, like Pancake said, Mario Kart really doesn't count as a sports game, which, yeah, it doesn't really count as a sports game. To me, the racing kind of counts as a sport, but I mean, if I would love Mario Kart 9, like, there's already Mario Kart 8 on the Switch, so we'll love Mario Kart 9. Also, one thing I do would love is if they create a Mario Super Sluggers 2 or something like that, or some successor or something, or a game that's like it, which was the Mario baseball game on the Nintendo Wii. Because it was on the Wii, not on the Wii U, but on the regular Wii and everything. So, there are people out that don't know what a Wii U is, or they think that's the Wii's add-on. I mean, those are people that don't play games either, so in general, pretty much like, but then and also there's going to be a bunch of other Mario Sports games and all that. Mario Super Sluggers. Games I owned, so that was pretty fun. But now on to Splatoon 2 DLC stuff. And it's one of those games that really play that much, which I do own Splatoon 2. I haven't played Splatoon 1, even though I've seen gameplay for it and all that. Because Splatoon is one of the series I'm not really that much interested in, especially because it's an online multiplayer game, and I don't really play games that much online. And also, I can't go online for some crazy reason, play games online at my college, so like with Splatoon 2 would only be the single player I'd be able to play, and which I still haven't played. I got it for Christmas, still need to play Splatoon 2, because I know they gave it to you, and TheJamesRolls is just like pretty much one of their favorite games. And the original Splatoon was the favorite Wii U game. It's changed since then. But yeah, the thing is, I don't know any, like, when they talk about all these different stuff about Splatoon, I was like, what? Like, I know more stuff about Zelda than Splatoon. And Zelda's also been around a lot longer and all that. I know I have a friend that grew up with Zelda, so, I serious and I really got into which the DLC thing with the whole single player, that's really cool that they're adding a single player extension, because there was no Splatoon and Splatoon 2 much. Those games are built for online multiplayer, which is also part of the reason why I haven't really played Splatoon that much. And also I can't play it in college currently. Especially because I want to play Mario Kart 8 online. That means I only can play Mario Kart 8 locally. Like as like with like really annoying. Which also part of the reason why I haven't played Splatoon 2 at all, because this helps a lot with which I don't think I'll get the DLC, because I'm not big Splatoon person and I don't want to drop $20.
Looks like we're gonna drop this up soon because my roommates are texting me about food.
Oh boy. But yeah, Splatoon 2 is like one of those games that. Wait. Asking for food when it's 11 o'clock your time? Why haven't you eaten yet? Like, why haven't you not eaten yet when it's 11 p.m., almost 11 p.m. your time? It's almost 1 p.m. my time.
I have a weird eating schedule.
Jeez.
I know that feeling later, Gator, to you.
I eat like at 5.
Alright. Was everything you had to say?
Anyway. But yeah, like, the single player, like, the thing is, like, I'm so glad that they're adding more content, like single player content to Splatoon 2, because single player games, you want to play them, especially in my situation where I really can't play it online. So, and at that point, I have to drop $20 just to play the single player. Which, I mean, I know you guys, like you said, it's double the amount of content, but it's still not. I mean, it's still a lot more, but still not that much. I don't think it's really worth $20. Maybe 10 I think would be.
Would you be able to go onto the eShop to download it at all because of your internet problems at college?
Thing is, I can download and go on the different shops, but I can't play online. Like I can go on the eShop on my 3DS and everything, and Switch. I can't, you know. For some strange reason. So, which, like I said, in my opinion, I wish the expansion was, or even making it free, just because it, you know, Splatoon's a multiplayer game and all of that. Huh. Like, I don't think it should be $20.
All right, so, I'm sorry, were you done? I'll take that as a yes. So, Mario Tennis Aces, whenever I keep seeing this, I can't help but think that Ultra Smash was like the beta for this game. So that's really all I can really say about Mario Tennis Aces. I don't really play a whole lot of sports games that often, not even Mario games. It looks fine, and I'm glad they're doing the kind of like a global test fire kind of demo for this game. And I think it'd be common practice for all Nintendo's online games to do this, because it's really cool. The only Mario sports game I can really think of that I'd want on the Switch would probably be like Mario Strikers, but even then I've never really played those games before. As for Splatoon 2, I have something to say about the Octo Expansion DLC, and I'll summarize it in 4 words. Agent 8 Walking Cycle. So, yeah. Anyway, the Octo Expansion, I'm not bothered by the fact that it's $20. First of all, I already paid for it, so it doesn't really matter to me that much, but you're getting a lot of content for $20. Like, you're getting a bit more than twice as much as the amount of levels you get from the regular story mode, plus the fact that you get playable Octolings if you beat it for the online multiplayer. So that's very exciting, and I'm very excited for that. It's pretty cool and stuff like that. So I don't think they'll do more paid DLC beyond this. The reason I was asking was because during the Direct they said this was the first paid DLC, but I don't see where they can go from here. I guess maybe, like what James was saying, maybe have something like going back to the Inkopolis from the first game, or maybe have a story mode to do with something like that. Sorry about that. Maybe have like a story for the Summon Road mode or something like that. I'm not entirely sure what else they could do for paid DLC, but I'm just very excited for the Octo Expansion DLC. And moving on to the next question, I'm just gonna.
Now. I have a question. Like I said in the chat, after in the chat started to interrupt when you finished talking about the theme.
Sorry, I wasn't looking at the chat. What were you saying?
Sorry. You know, the Octolink, like, the only thing different between the Octolink and the
I'm sorry, what was that? You were cutting out.
the Octolink, like the only difference between the Octolink and the other characters that are in Splatoon 2, that is, I guess, the other characters are squids, and I guess not.
You're still cutting out. I can't rehear you.
That's one more time. Hope this doesn't screw up the whole video thing with me cutting out if I keep coming out. The difference between the Octolinks and the other characters that are in Splatoon 2 before, I guess, that the Octolinks were in Splatoon 1, is the only difference between them that the Octolings are like octopus. The kids, I guess, the kids are octopuses, and the other characters are squid kids.
You're asking the difference between Inkling and Octoling? Yeah, that's pretty much it. Inklings are squids, Octolings are octopuses.
I guess I just wondering if there's like anything like different like that. There's like anything different besides just because they're octopuses and then there's squids or Inklings, I guess.
All right, so next question. I think this.
Did they affect the gameplay at all?
My next question. I think I can speak for everyone when I say that this is the big one. What are your thoughts on? What are your thoughts on Super Smash Bros. Switch and?
So did they affect the gameplay at all? The Octolings and Inklings?
I don't know. I have to leave soon. Can I please finish talking?
Affect like you guys are so excited about the Octolings, or did they affect the gameplay?
I just really like their character design, and the thing with Octolings was, I believe they were supposed to be playable in the first game, because their full models are still in the game's files, but they never made it. And the thing is, people hacked the Octolings to be playable, and that caused a lot of problems. So I'm very excited to be able to actually play with Octolings online normally without crossing other people's consoles.
Yeah, the only difference between an Inkling and Octoling is really the aesthetics, their looks.
Yep.
I just want to know if there's like really any difference between them or not. Especially, like I know you guys are still like making a really big deal about it. So.
I guess one final thing I could say about Dr. Expense before we move on is I'm so glad they're bringing Callie back. Okay, let's move on. Smash Bros. Switch. What do you think? What do you
We're
want to
Squid
see?
Sister.
Okay, let's go. Screw you, James.
Well, you have to go, so shouldn't you go first?
You guys just go or something.
Okay. Take it away, Pancake.
Oh, really fast, I promised. So, funny story about Smash Bros. For Switch is that before the Direct started, I made a tweet that I was going to miss it because I was in school, right? Originally, I was going to make a tweet as a joke saying, oh, look, they're going to announce Smash Brothers on the Switch. That was my original tweet. It was going to be a joke tweet. I didn't have time to type it all out, so I just tweeted, I'm going to miss the Direct, and I guess I predicted the future. Ooh. And the Smash Bros. Announcement was a big surprise for everybody. I was neutral towards it because I kind of felt like they were going to say something about Smash Bros. Eventually. I just have one more thing to say about it. Inklings finally being playable characters is the single most disappointing thing that ever happened in the Smash Bros. Series. And I will discuss this eventually when we do a Smash Bros. Discussion on why I think this. But I am just very disappointed that the Inklings are just playable characters now. It's just a big disappointment for me. Smash Bros. Is exciting, but the Inklings, yeah, that's all I have to say.
You're fired from game.
Who hurt you, Pancake?
I'm sorry, and I'll explain my reasons for this when we do the inevitable Smash Bros. Discussion.
Well, I look forward to that discussion, I guess, with Pancake ranting about the Inklings. Anyway, man, what is there to say about Smash Brothers? I, and many others, lost their minds. Pretty much everybody had the reaction like, okay, Splatoon 1 being ported to the Switch. Okay, wait, the CG is different. Wait, this isn't how the announcement trailer for Splatoon went. Wait, no, don't do this to me. Don't do it to me. Smash Ball in the Inkling girl's eye. I'm not going to scream off the top of my lungs because it's now 3 o'clock in the morning because of daylight savings time, but, like, oh my god, Smash Brothers on the Switch. And it's coming out this year. I wholeheartedly believe that there's going to be a lot more information at E3, in addition to Metroid Prime 4, or maybe if they have enough footage to show of that or something, and whatever else they have. I'm fully convinced that Smash Brothers is launching in September with the online service, because if there's one thing Nintendo can do, is have everybody buy online when Smash Brothers is released, and they can pretty much have their online services bulked up with backup after backup after backup, with all the people that will buy it just for Smash alone, and they can, they'll make so much money from, not only because Smash Brothers is very popular, but people will buy online just for Smash, and their online's rumored to be like $20 per year. They'll make a lot of money, and I'm fully convinced online and Smash are going hand in hand come September. Oh my god, I can't wait until Smash Brothers is released. There's really not enough words in the world to say about the reveal of Smash Brothers. What I'd like to see from it, another story mode like Subspace, please, or at least something better than what Subspace was in terms of a story. Hopefully they bring back Smash Run, because there's lots of evidence in both columns of whether it's a port of 4, like a 4.5, or if it's Smash 5, because you have the copyright information, you have Champion Link instead of Twilight Princess Link, which thank God they're updating Link, although it's going to be weird with Link's definite new moveset that's going to happen, being that it's Champion Link. Yeah, and it's going to be interesting to see if it indeed is 5 and not a 4.5 or, whatever. It'll be interesting to see how many of the characters that were introduced in 4 return. Because, who knows? We could probably be saying goodbye to Cloud. And probably not Bayonetta. I assume the whole roster from 4 is going to be there. It would just suck, though, if we had to, if they cut Cloud back out, since, as far as I know, there's no, anything Final Fantasy coming to the Switch right now, so it would suck if we lost Cloud and maybe Ryu, but, Square Enix and Capcom have good relationships with Nintendo due to the Switch, so I assume everybody's gonna be there, and of course, Inkling is joining the roster. Hopefully Ice Climbers can finally return, since the limitations from the 3DS version hindered them from being cut. Maybe we'll see Wolf again from Brawl. I'd like them to sneak in Ivysaur and Squirtle and Pokemon Trainer somehow, although maybe that won't work because Charizard became separate, although I think that was also a decision based off of the limitations of the 3DS holding them back. So maybe they'll revert back to Pokemon Trainer, Charizard being, involved in that, who knows. I'm just excited. I am really, really excited, and I cannot wait until Smash Brothers is released. I'm just over the moon excited, and...
Hey, my experience, well, the thing is, I'm excited for Smash Brothers to come to the Switch. I'm not excited as the other people excited for the Switch, like the James was. Or the TheJamesRolls was. But, I'm still excited for Smash Brothers, because it's Smash Brothers. It's gonna be fun. Brothers version, but I still love the game. Which I know a lot of people will hate me on that, especially Melee players. Because Melee is it's not the best bad on Brawl and Smash Brothers 4 or better than Melee. But anyway, I'm not going to argue with them. Those good people. Yeah, it's the best, Mainly because of the subspace thing, and the subspace story mode thing. So excited for it, and it's nice to see the Splatoon characters coming to the Switch, Inklings and all that. That's cool, that'd be fun. since it's new Nintendo, pretty new and pretty cool to see that. If it's just a Smash 4 port, pretty cool to see those differences. So, like 5, which is probably they say it would be Smash 5 because it could be Smash 4. The whole Breath of the Wild link, that could also, like, when I was looking at, like, which a lot of people like that didn't think about, that a lot of people didn't think about, that a lot of people thought, oh, it's probably Smash 5 because they should Breath of the Wild link. Gosh. Like, it could be some, like, weird costume or better, but that can, like, change between different. You never know you never know what's gonna happen. Like, it could just be, a costume. So that, but at the same time, it'll be a Smash 5 game, not Smash 4, which I hope it's Smash 5. It's Smash 4 or Smash 5, no matter what. I do hope they add some story mode, like those big things. Not like the same story and all that, but like, that's the thing. Reason why I like Wall by the Smash 4 because of the days, which is another reason I want it. Also, all the Smash Bros. 4 characters and bring characters back from the previous ones that were. Snake, I can see not having in there because, like, obviously, which I mean, I understand why they didn't have it in the Smash 4 because the 3DS can handle it. But, like, I don't, like, one of the only characters that can be not being in it is Snake, obviously. Like, I know he was in Wall. He didn't bring him back because I'm pretty sure the Switch can handle it. I mean, the game can handle it. So we had the 3DS that was just because it's couldn't do it. All that. Yeah, that's kind of stuff. Interesting to have like 2 players at that time. Oh my god, imagine 8 players smashed. And each player plays with Ice Climb. 2 players smash? Oh, that'd be insane. 2 players smash. Ice Climb. Well, technically it would be 8 players smash. Ha! So what I'm looking forward to Smash, like, that's gonna be, that I want to see, like, besides, the kids that bring back characters. Clash, like, I want Clash to come. Or just because, Clash is kind of a Switch. It'd be fun to play. The thing is...
Oh, man, that would be awesome.
The thing is, Clash or Spyro were not in that PlayStation All-Star game. Like, even though they had Ratchet and Clank, Jack and Daxter on the PlayStation, there were like one of the biggest PlayStation mascots out there. Spyro and Clash, and they're the ones that kind of started the whole PlayStation mascot thing. Clash. I would love if they like somehow showed the old Crash Bandicoot commercials again. I think they did create one when it came out for PS4. That's because I think they did release a like modern version or like of the old Crash Bandicoot commercials. I would love to see Crash. Like, that's one kid I would love to see. And who knows, if they create a Spyro trilogy, maybe I would love to see Spyro come. Maybe I'll see DLC. Like, it's not gonna be on. I doubt it's gonna be coming to Smash. Like the normal game of Smash, because you take it to the Switch. But people out there get the Spyro trilogy. If they do Spyro on the Smash Bros., it would be a DLC character. Or Smash Bros. 6, whatever the next system is after the Switches. But yeah, like, I want Flash. Not well, Smash Brothers. Really like, side.
All right, so I'm going to save most of my opinions on Smash Brothers Switch for a future discussion, and also because of the fact that I have to leave soon. But wow, we're getting Smash Brothers this year. I thought that like 2019 would be the earliest we'd get a Smash Brothers game, and even then, I was in the mindset of Masahiro Sakurai is working on something else, so we're probably going to get a Wii U port at best, with maybe a couple of 3DS things here and there. But Masahiro Sakurai is making a new Smash Brothers coming in 2018. Where are these games coming from? Like, we got Xenoblade and Breath of the Wild and all that good stuff last year, and now we're getting Smash Brothers and Metroid Prime 4 and a new Pokemon. Like, where are all these games coming from? Where were they in the Wii U era?
You see, when a company loves their products very, very much.
Alright. I will say, Brandon, you mentioning Crash Bandicoot coming to the Switch. I think it would be awesome if they made the Crash Bandicoot and Banjo-Kazooie both appear in the new Smash Brothers game, because Microsoft did say when the fighter ballot was still a thing that they'd be perfectly fine with Banjo-Kazooie appearing in Smash Brothers. So it is possible. I really hope it comes true.
The thing is, I doubt it.
It could happen. Like, freaking Cloud appearing in Smash Brothers. Anything is possible at this point.
True. And it's pretty cool what Banjo-Kazooie was in Smash 5.
Well, Banjo-Kazooie has more of a history with Nintendo than Cloud ever did. Anyway.
Actually would be allowed.
What was that?
Banjo-Kazooie would be allowed to come to Smash game, and also on which players on Microsoft. There was a ballot that was a while ago, so, and they could just, that could also just been a whole big joke.
Alright. So that's pretty much everything I want to say about Smash Brothers. Although this also just came to mind that playing this game locally with somebody else and sharing the Joy-Cons, this game is going to be a nightmare to play with the Joy-Con sideways. But that's pretty much everything I want to say. So, final question: do you guys have any final thoughts on the Nintendo Direct?
I'm gonna make my final thoughts really quick because my batteries are dying. It's really late. I need to get to bed, quiet it down, and everything else. So I'm gonna make my final thoughts really quick. This was a big direct, and I just can't wait for E3 because I imagine E3 is going to be really bigger, and I hope people understand my sarcasm when I said that Inklings are a really bad decision. But anyways, that's all I have to say about the direct and all that kind of stuff. I hope this, and yeah, it was really good. I hope the E3 is better. Anyways, that's all I have to say. James, finish it.
Double time.
Good direct, much great, such wow. E3 good, please, thank.
It was very, very. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Anyways, in case back. But yeah, the direct was awesome. Like the direct, that direct was amazing. I just oh my god, E3 is gonna be like by this way. I think Nintendo's probably most likely gonna win E3. Sony might. And I noticed that a lot of the Sony games will come out before E3, so but I'm pretty sure Nintendo's gonna win E3 anyway.
They won E3 and it wasn't even E3 yet.
Yeah, they're potentially going to have Smash Brothers, Metroid, and Pokemon in the same E3. They've won before it even happened.
Yeah, they have those 3 games, and they won.
All right, so
Those two games. And plus, you have Buster Games on top of that. I like this. Oh my god. So excited for you. Well, at least for Nintendo, at least. At least Nintendo, I think Nintendo's going to win unless some other company just blows out the door. But I doubt that's going to happen because Nintendo's already blowing them out the door. Hashtag Nintendo won E3 2018. And possibly 2019.
yeah, all I can wish for at this point is Tomb Raider and Tokyo Mirage Sessions on Switch. But anyway, thank you all so much for watching this discussion for the Nintendo Direct. I'm going to give it to you, and they are...
Apparently Crash Bandicoot. The James Rolls.
And I've been
G.A.M.E.
picking Garman.
See you guys next time.
Poor Pancake.
Poor Pancake.
Good night, guys.
Oh, Pancake.
Good night, Pancake. May you not turn into waffles overnight.
Good night.
I'm going
He's a
back.
pat.
I'm going back.
He's a pat on the back.
I'm going back to the Shadow Realm, guys. Okay, bye.
See you later.